Welcome to SVG-TV's news for Wednesday, December 18th, 2024. I'm Triska Campbell with the details. If anybody thinks there is a magic bullet to deal with a monster of crime, they are mistaken. This was the message from Prime Minister Dr. Gonsalves, who delivered the featured address at the opening ceremony of the three-day gun intelligence workshop hosted here by the CARICOM Implementation Agency for Crime and Security. CARICOM impacts through its Crime Gun Intelligence Unit, CGIU, in collaboration with the Ministry of National Security and the Royal St. Vincent and the Grenadines Police Force. The Prime Minister noted that while some politicians have turned the issue of crime into a political football, the matter requires a collective effort and intervention from all stakeholders, including the family, to get the situation under control.
That's why you need to have politicians sometimes talking here. Chasten in St. Lucia said that Kenny Anthony crime was too high, and the Kenny Anthony, it was 50 murders for the year. It went to 60 or 70 under him. Think somebody has a magic wand to wave? We have to do interventions now, but we have to have a long process of having mothers and fathers understanding their responsibilities and their obligations. Family, it's simple. The family has to be involved. The parents keep the youngsters on a good track. When you don't pay attention to the boy and you reach 14 years old and the mother can't go with him and you say, well, that's not my problem, that's Ralph's problem. Well, that's the Ralph's problem only. That's all of our problems. So I hope the parents are hearing me. And then the communities need to have leadership based on a sense of social solidarity. But there is a doctrine which has developed of rank individualism. The same doctrine which took hold that my body is my choice and you're not going to inject anything in me. Never mind, you give people the disease, it's transmissible, and they suffer. You have to have social solidarity. Without social solidarity, we don't have a society.
Prime Minister Gonsalves said churches and schools have a role to play in the fight against crime.
Many pastors, as soon as somebody gets a microphone system in the downstairs, they become a prophet. And through holy matrimony, the wife is a prophetess. and then they want to scare us all to heaven by talking hell, 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 hell. The fire will burn you up. And the louder they scream, the more important they think their message is. And we have to be discriminating and the sort of things which we are believing. And they're the schools. Teachers have to teach their subjects. But good teachers, quality teachers, teach themselves. You might teach English language, English literature, and the mathematics well, but you don't teach yourself well. The goodness in you behave in some kind of a manner and engender in the students a sense that anything goes. They learn from that. Fortunately, most of our teachers are good people and they teach themselves. But think about this. You have 7 years in a primary school. If you meet 2 bad teachers along the way, you know what that could do to you? You have 5 years in the secondary school. You meet 1 bad teacher along the way. Because the numbers of teachers you have in a school, you might have 20 teachers in a school. If you have 2 of them are bad teachers, in the sense not teaching themselves well, it's a huge number and can have an impact on impressionable minds.
The The Prime Minister also emphasized that members of the public must stop making excuses for individuals involved in criminal behavior while acknowledging that the state has an important role to play in the fight against crime. Dr. Gonsalves pointed out that significant strides have been made within the justice system. He noted that laws have been enacted to make it more difficult for criminals, including the introduction of harsher penalties.
And the like, but you have to get them to the court. And then you have to get the magistrates and the judges to do their work properly. Let me just say this, magistrates and judges are not immune from criticism, you know. Justice is not a cloistered virtue. Those who administer it can be and ought to be subject to reasonable criticisms, like some of them who are lazy. I'm not making any reference to St. Vincent Grenadines, I'm talking generally. But if anybody locally whom this fits, well, let that be the case. Police. Look, in a lot of regions in the Caribbean, countries in the Caribbean, the politics inside of the police force is worse than the politics between me and the leader of the opposition, the internal politics. We can come here and discuss the crime gun intelligence unit, but we have to have enough intelligence to know that there can be only one commissioner of police at the time, just like there could only be one prime minister at the time. That there could only be so many assistant commissioners of police or superintendents. You can't allow those things to prevent you from doing your work, which you have sworn. There's a police act, and there is a set of obligations. If you know you can't comply with those obligations, leave the police force and get a different job. But you can't be drawing the salary and have a whole set of internal political gripe about you. And you come here for a seminar, and as soon as you leave, you undermine the authority above you. It can't work like that.
The three-day gun intelligence workshop, which wraps up on a Thursday, is part of a regional series organized by the CARICOM Impacts. The workshop aims to raise awareness among stakeholders about the proliferation and the use of illegal firearms in the region, as well as to explore strategies to address this critical issue. Head of the Criminal Investigations Department, the CID Superintendent of Police, Carlston Francis, has reiterated his department's firm stance on addressing violence against women in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Speaking at a recent police press conference, Francis emphasized that all reports of violence against women are taken seriously by the CID. His comments came shortly after the announcement that the police had made a breakthrough in the investigation into the murder of 17-year-old Precious Williams. Francis urged men to leave women alone and to end the cycle of violence against them.
That as the head of CID, I take seriously any act of violence against women. My advice is to leave our women alone. Allow them to live their lives the way they choose. Women may not always support the act, the thing to do or say, but they are all independent women, and allow them to live their lives. Leave our women alone, because once a report is made to us at CID of any act of violence against women, we take it very seriously. I treat it as if the woman is my mother, is my daughter, or my sister.
A number of fishermen in Calliaqua are strongly opposed to Rainforest Seafood's proposed plan to build a seafood market in the area. It was recently announced that the company has applied to Physical Planning and Development Board for approval to construct the market. SVG-TV News spoke with several fishermen in Calliaqua who explained that when Rainforest Seafoods first entered St. Vincent and the Grenadines, SVG's market, they believed that the company would purchase fish from them. However, the fishermen claim that the company has not been adhering to the terms originally presented to them.
The situation about the market that Rainforest going and build, for me, and for all the fisher folks and vendors and also the big business on the streets, it's going to affect them. It's going to affect us. All of us going to feel away. The poor people who can't go and buy the packaged fish from them. It's all kind of price we got in the market for the fish. Rainforest don't offer no price for the fish, so it going to affect us. We against it, big.
The company come was to help fishermen in buying fish from fishermen to export. But when they come and start to talk to the fishermen, the price for the fish is way beyond where we get in our local market. So then the fishermen in St. Vincent is not selling them no fish. So I don't know if it's true that they bring up the proposal of opening a fish market.
For an entity that came here with a proposal to buy and ship fish, now to come and open a market to sell to the local, it's going to take from us, because somewhere along the line, they probably going to, what should I say, probably bring their own fishing vessels and so and start supplying their market instead of buying from us and then sell to the locals. And even if they buy from us, the price that they're going to buy from us, as my friend just said a while ago, it's going to be way lower than what the normal locals buy for, you know. That's how they want to do it.
The fishermen made it clear that they are unhappy with the proposal, especially given that there is already an established fish market in Calliaqua. They also pointed out that they have already expressed their concerns to the relevant authorities.
But so many fishermen say, even if we put in a petition, it come like our fight will be in vain, because well, as it is, they're saying the government have a bigger say than we the small people.
I speak to my area representative, which is the Minister of Fisheries and Agriculture, about the situation concerning the same thing. But I was told by him that it's not going to happen. I'm saying it. I was told by him that it's not going to happen. So, but if it reached the point that it's going to happen, then as with him say, even though we protest against it, I mean the government get the say. Check. But still we'll go 100% out to see it's not happening, because in the long run it's gonna affect us.
Yes, all of us don't come together, get a petition paper, we don't sign with signature, everybody, and put in against it, right against it. So they say we have 12 days, we already done do up a paper. All the fishermen, consumers who come down here and buy fish, he will sign it too.
Minister of Fisheries Saboto Caesar has expressed strong support for the implementation of tracking devices on fishing boats in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. At the launch of the project on Monday, the minister announced that in addition to the 30 devices already installed, another 100 or more would be soon made available for purchase by fishermen, stressing the importance of ensuring as many vessels as possible are equipped with the devices.
This project will take us to another level, and we are going to make available for those persons who did not benefit in the first 30 to get the information. So if you want to purchase one, Chief, you will be able to purchase one for yourself. I was advised that it doesn't cost more than 200 US. We are going to provide for persons, but in the interim, there may be some persons who want to make the investment, and I want to encourage this as a part of the public-private partnership that we have. We can share the information with you, and you can access and make sure that when it comes into the country, that you do the application to the Fisheries Department, so that you can have your duty-free concession on it.
Caesar further stated that the data collected from the tracking devices will be carefully analyzed by economists who will be employed specifically for this purpose.
I want to encourage the fishers to take care of the device, to use the devices which are available, because it is very important that there is a partnership to make this all work. The Ministry of Agriculture, Fisheries, we are going to assign an economist in the ministry to study the information so that it won't just sit idle by on computers in different offices, but we can have quarterly meetings where we can do an assessment as to how persons are fishing and to improve on the methodologies that they are currently utilizing.
The 2025 budget appropriation bill will be presented to Parliament on January 3rd next year. This announcement was made by Prime Minister Dr. Afghan Salves during a discussion on WFM's Issues at Hand program on Sunday. The budget estimates, which are usually presented before Christmas, could not have been delivered this year due to some delays. The presentation of the budget estimates will now take place 3 days before the full budget debate.
I mentioned the estimates. We're going to have the estimates debate on Friday the 3rd of January. And the budget is scheduled for the 6th, Monday the 6th of January. I was hoping to have gotten the estimates done before Christmas, but it became evident to me that it would not have been ready to go to the printery and to be in the hands of parliamentarians in enough time to have it done before Christmas and to get the attention of people. And a few days not going to make any difference. The estimate is going to the printery, I think Tuesday, the Minister of Finance told me.
The Prime Minister emphasized that members of Parliament should have the estimates in advance to allow adequate time for review and debate. Road safety is not only the responsibility of law enforcement officers, but also the responsibility of every individual. This was emphasized during last evening's Police on the Beat program, which focused on the urgent topic of road safety. This month has seen a concerning spike in motor vehicle accidents, with 2 fatalities recorded just last Friday. Sergeant of Police Kenny Jones, who appeared on the program, highlighted why road safety must always be a priority. He explained that it is crucial for both drivers and pedestrians to stay alert and aware of their surroundings at all times.
The SP mentioned before, road safety is really to ensure that persons who are traveling the road, that is motorists and pedestrians, that they do so in a safe manner. And what we've seen, and what is so important, is because when there's an accident, or when an accident or a motor vehicle collision occurs on the road, it puts a lot of stakeholders, put a strain on a lot of the government stakeholders. That's the police, sometimes the fire service, the healthcare on a whole, is being impacted by these collisions, because there are sometimes injuries and serious injuries, and sometimes the fire service has to respond maybe to extricate someone from a motor vehicle, maybe to out a fire that was caused by a collision, and then this person has to be transported to the hospital, and then it puts the entire healthcare system under strain.
Sergeant Jones also pointed out that road hazards such as poorly lit streets, uneven road surfaces, and inclement weather must be considered as part of road safety awareness. He stressed the need for drivers to adjust their speed or behavior according to these conditions to minimize the risk of accidents.
Well, I believe one of the major concerns is the speed at which some persons drive on the road. One of the other concerns is that persons tend to be very, very fatigued from maybe walking late or even consuming too much alcohol. So I believe that the thing is that 90 8% of road collisions are as a result of human error.
Yes.
Understand? So persons always need to remind themselves that if I'm too tired, I need to get somebody to drive my vehicle. If I consume too much alcohol, I need to ensure that I have a designated driver. So these are some of the concerns, and the excessive music that creates a hype on not just the motor omnibus, as we know how they operate, but also some private vehicles. Persons put in these loud sound system and they play music, and sometimes it drives them to want to start to speed the motor vehicle. Right? So these are really some of the major concerns that I believe result in collisions. And we see persons now turning to the cell phone. I've seen drivers rounding corners and all of their focus is actually in their cell phone. You understand? So persons need to be reminded of the fact that these practices, right, are things that could cause serious accident and serious harm to persons that are using the...
Superintendent Parnell Brong, head of the Traffic Department of the Royal St. Vincent and the Grenadines Police Force, provided a list of important tips that everyone should follow to ensure road safety.
You see persons walking in the road and they have their cellular phones and they are glued to their cellular phones. They walk into people. They do all kind of weird stuff. Just paying attention to your cellular phone alone.
Safe.
You have to see yourself as the main person in yourself to make yourself safe on the road. I have seen persons they exercises on the road and they have the earplugs, both ears. And I mean, I advise persons from time to time, if you happens to be walking the street and you have your earplugs, both ears, you might be saying that you're on the sidewalk and vehicles or persons you shouldn't be interfered with while on the sidewalk and you're studying your own business, but you're in the public's domain and anything can happen.
Accidents.
So, I mean, it is very important that you take yourself into consideration, take the what is happening, especially if you know you're in an environment that is prone to a road accident and so on.
The discussion concluded with a call for greater public awareness and cooperation in reducing road accidents and fatalities, particularly for the busy holiday season, emphasizing that road safety is a shared responsibility that requires commitment for everyone. In other news now, the 9 Nights of Lights Festival kicked off with excitement on Sunday, December 15th, as large crowds gathered to witness and participate in festive activities. SVG-TV News spoke with a group of first-time visitors as well as returning attendees, all eager to enjoy the vibrant celebration.
Me, and I really love it. I really enjoy most of it because this is very special. It just reminds me that we are in foreign land and it's just awesome.
And it's always a pleasure, coming out to the lighting up of gardens. I think it's a very good attraction. And when you have guests coming by you for the first time back home, it's a place where you take them so that they could enjoy the beauty of St. Vincent and the Grenadines Christmas season.
Yeah, my name is Isabel Macmillan. I'm from St. Vincent, born here and raised here, but I'm living in America for a number of years now, and it's my first visit back for a while, and I just enjoy this. It's a wonder to be home. Went to a night morning, and this is my first night.
And she would be also going to 9 mornings, couple mornings too, because she got to take in everything that St. Vincent is offering for the season.